Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do it here. We take those long, complicated articles and we pull out the stuff that really matters to you.
Absolutely.
And this time, well, let's just say it's a topic close to home for pretty much everyone. It's all about personal finance in India.
Right, and we're diving into the Kuber blog article, the one titled, Why Do We Need Personal Finance?
It's got some, well, let's be honest, some kind of scary numbers in there.
Scary good or scary bad?
Let's just say they paint a picture, like a snapshot of where things are at financially, right here, right now, in India. And it's anything but boring, that's for sure.
Okay, you've got me hooked. Hit me with these eye-opening figures.
All right, buckle up. Credit card spending, it's skyrocketed to 18.26 lakh crores.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot of zeros, but what does that actually mean for, the average person?
Think about it this way. That's a 27% jump in credit card spending.
So are you saying people are just swiping their cards left and right without a care in the world? Not exactly. It's more nuanced than that. See, there's another figure we need to factor in here, total household debt.
Okay, I'm sensing a but coming.
And you'd be right. Total household debt has hit a record high, a whopping 27.23 lakh crores. But here's the kicker. It's not just that we're spending more, it's what we're spending on that's shifted.
Interesting. So it's not just about, like, buying more stuff in general.
Nope. Remember those days when owning a home was like the ultimate dream?
Yeah, the whole brick and mortar aspiration.
Exactly. Well, aspirations are changing. The article points to a rise in car loans.
Oh, so it's more about mobility now, like experiences over possessions, that kind of thing.
You got it. It's a fascinating shift, really. But we can't ignore the elephant in the room.
Oh, what's that?
The rise in personal and education loans. That tells me something else is going on here.
You're right. Education costs are no joke these days. And let's not even get started on the rising cost of living. It's like everything's getting more expensive.
Right, so people might be relying on loans just to keep up.
Yeah.
It's not always about splurging.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question. Why is understanding personal finance so crucial, especially in India right now?
Because things are changing rapidly, and we're facing a double whammy, inflation and uncertainty. Two pretty big words, but stick with me here.
Okay, break it down for us. Inflation first. The article mentions it's currently at 4.83%. Is that good? Bad?
Well, it's within the RBI's comfort zone, so not terrible. But there's a catch. Food inflation is at 8.66%.
Oof, that's a big difference. Why does that matter so much?
Think about it. Even if your salary stays the same, if your grocery bill is higher, your money just doesn't stretch as far. It's like a hidden tax on your purchasing power.
Makes sense. And this is where that whole APY thing comes into play, right? The annual percentage yield on savings?
You got it. The name of the game is making your money work harder for you, especially when inflation is trying to erode its value.
So it's not about getting rich quick. It's more like staying afloat.
Exactly. It's about making sure your savings at least try to keep pace with the rising cost of, well, everything.
Right. And then on top of that, we've got uncertainty looming over us like a big dark cloud.
It's the elephant in the room, that's for sure. And that's why the article stresses the importance of being prepared. Life throws curveballs, and we need a financial cushion to absorb the impact.
They recommend setting aside 20% of your income as an emergency fund.
20%. Sounds like a lot, right? Especially with everything else going on.
Yeah, it does. But I guess it's more about understanding the why behind it.
Exactly. It's about building that safety net, one step at a time. Start small, even if it's just a tiny bit each month.
Yeah, it's about forming good habits, right? Like if you wait until you have a ton of money to start saving, well, you might be waiting a long time.
Exactly. Start small and gradually increase that amount as you're able to. Now, let's talk about something else the article dug into, good debt versus bad debt. I'll be honest, this one was news to me.
Really? I thought all debt was just, well, debt. What's the difference?
That's what I always thought, too. But it turns out debt can be a powerful tool when you use it strategically, especially if you're looking to build wealth over time.
Okay, now you got my attention. Let's talk good debt. What is it and how does it work?
It's like an investment in your future. It helps you acquire something that will actually increase your net worth over time.
So it's not just about how much money you have in the bank. It's about what you own and how much you owe.
Right, you got it. And a perfect example of good debt in India, well, it's something many people aspire to, a home loan.
So you're saying even though you're taking on a big chunk of debt with a home loan, you're also getting something valuable in return, a piece of property that could be worth even more down the line.
Exactly. You're strategically using debt to build wealth in the long run. And it's not just about buying a place to live. Think about starting a business, for example.
Oh, right, like taking out a business loan.
Exactly. That could be considered good debt, too, especially if it helps you get your venture off the ground, start earning an income, build something of your own.
So it's about creating opportunities that might be out of reach otherwise. But okay, let's flip the script here. What about the bad debt?
Ah, yes. The article definitely had some strong words about credit card debt.
I bet. It's so easy to overspend with those things.
It's almost too easy, isn't it? You
Yeah.
swipe, and suddenly you're staring down these huge interest payments. It can snowball really fast.
Yeah, one minute you're treating yourself to a fancy coffee, the next minute you're drowning in debt. Not a good look. So how do we avoid that trap?
Well, the article had a suggestion. Try using debit cards more often.
Debit cards.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like everyone uses credit cards these days.
It's all about shifting your mindset. With a debit card, you're spending money you actually have, which helps you stay in control, avoid those nasty overdraft fees, too.
Okay, so it's about staying accountable, keeping those spending impulses in check. And speaking of staying in control, the article also mentions some strategies for tackling debt. The avalanche and snowball methods.
Ah, yes. Debt repayment strategies. They might sound intimidating, but they can be really effective. It's about finding what works best for you. The avalanche method, that's for the logical thinkers out there.
Oh, tell me more.
It's all about tackling the debt with the highest interest rate first. You knock that one out, minimize the total interest you're paying over time. Makes sense, right?
It's like going straight for the biggest problem first.
Exactly. But if you're more motivated by small victories, the snowball method might be a better fit.
How does that one work?
You start by paying off your smallest debt first, regardless of the interest rate. And as you clear each one, it creates a sense of momentum. It keeps you motivated to tackle the bigger ones.
So it's like checking things off your to-do list. It feels good.
Exactly. Each payment becomes a step closer to financial freedom.
Now, here's something I've been wondering about. How do cultural factors here in India, family ties, traditions, all of that, how does that influence the way we approach things like financial goals and strategies?
It's a great question, and it's something that often gets overlooked. In India, we have this beautiful emphasis on family, community support. It's not unusual for family members to help each other out financially.
Right. Like supporting your parents as they get older, or maybe helping a sibling pay for their education. It's all part of the culture.
Exactly. So it's not just about individual financial goals. It's about the well-being of the entire family unit. And that's where the idea of financial freedom takes on a whole new meaning.
So it's not just about having enough money for yourself, it's about creating security and opportunities for your loved ones too.
Precisely. It's about building a legacy, breaking free from financial constraints, so you can fully embrace all the things that make life in India so special.
Right, the family celebrations, the festivals, being able to support your community. It's about having the financial freedom to truly enjoy it all.
You got it. And the article touches on this by highlighting some common financial goals that resonate deeply with the Indian way of life.
Like owning a home, for example.
Definitely. That's a big one for many people. It's about having a place of your own, a place where the family can come together.
It's about creating a sense of stability, of belonging.
Absolutely. And of course, there's education. Funding your children's education is a top priority for many Indian families.
Of course, we want to give the next generation the best possible start in life.
Exactly. Education is seen as the key to a brighter future. And then there's the entrepreneurial spirit that's so strong in India.
Ah, yes. The dream of starting your own business, becoming your own boss, maybe even creating jobs for other people.
Exactly. It's all interconnected, isn't it?
Yeah.
Financial freedom in India is about having the resources to support your family, chase your dreams, give back to your community.
It's about creating a life of meaning, a life where you can thrive both financially and personally. And that brings us to what I think is the most exciting part of this whole conversation, achieving that sense of financial freedom while still, actually enjoying life.
Absolutely. What good is financial security if you can't savor the journey?
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance. But how do we do that? How do we balance financial responsibility with, actually living a fulfilling life?
Well, the article suggests that it all starts with making conscious choices. Choices that align with your values, your priorities, what truly brings you joy, what matters most to you.
It's about spending your money on things that add value to your life, not just things that drain your bank account. It's about having the financial freedom to enjoy those special moments, those milestones, without stressing about every rupee.
Precisely. It's about being able to celebrate those big family weddings, take that dream vacation, without feeling guilty or worrying about the impact on your finances.
It's about having choices. And, in the Indian context, financial freedom often goes hand in hand with generosity.
Absolutely. Being able to support those charitable causes that are close to your heart, helping those in need, contributing to your community, those are all expressions of financial freedom too.
Right. It's not just about how much you have, it's about what you do with it.
Exactly. It's about using your resources to make a positive impact. And that brings me to something really important that the article touched on. Achieving financial freedom in India, it's not one size fits all.
You mean there's no magic formula, no secret recipe?
Nope. Everyone's journey is unique. It's about figuring out what works for you, what aligns with your circumstances, your goals, your values.
We have to be proactive, educate ourselves.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our finances. The more we understand, the better decisions we can make.
It's about taking control of our financial futures.
Absolutely. And it might seem overwhelming at times, but even small steps can make a big difference. Start by learning the basics, creating a budget, exploring those different saving and investing options.
Right, one step at a time. You don't have to become a financial expert overnight. Just start learning, start exploring, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
Exactly. There are resources out there, people who can guide you. And, as we wrap up this deep dive, it strikes me that it all boils down to finding that balance.
Balance between financial security and enjoying life.
Precisely. It's about making choices that allow you to live fully in the present while still planning for the future.
So true. Well, on that note, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this deep dive into personal finance in India. It's been an eye-opening conversation.
Absolutely. And remember, your financial journey is just that it's your journey.
Yeah.
So take it one step at a time and don't be afraid to pave your own path.
Beautifully said. And until next time, may your financial journey be filled with purpose, joy, and a whole lot of that famous Indian resilience.